All right, what is going on, Rope Breakers? We are here after another edition of Monday Night Raw. Looks like we got a lot of mixed feelings about the show tonight. Different matches have different reactions, but without further ado, let's introduce the panel. We have the one and only Matt Donato. Matt, what's going on tonight, man?
Rope Breakers, I am excited to be here. Let's make this a good one. Wait, what am I saying? It's always a good one.
All right, yep. Great intro, Matt. And now we're going to introduce the newest member of the Rope Break team, Randy Hill. Randy, welcome. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you?
I am great. As always, I am your host, Alec. Unfortunately, Aussie is not here with us. He was not with us last night on the SummerSlam post show after being taken out by Nick the Cena fan with a steel cookie sheet. We can give you an update on Aussie now. He's recovering. He's getting better. And I got some word today. He might be back sooner than expected. But Nick the Cena fan still calling him out, still saying that he's no good. But maybe we'll see Aussie this week. Who knows? But we're gonna jump right into our review here. Let's start with Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Very interesting match. Interesting stipulation. Falls count anywhere. I was kind of annoyed that they went with three stipulations that were all no DQ. Like, why didn't you just make it a no DQ match to begin with? But anyway, there's always great chemistry between those two. Great in-ring storytelling because the betrayal. Um, Definitely a surprising finish. I mean, I wasn't too happy Kane came out and kind of ruined the whole thing, but I mean, now we know Dean Ambrose is written off of TV, so he can go film the movie Lockdown for WWE Studios. So let's jump right into these guys here. Matt, your thoughts on the match?
Awesome. Honestly, for me, saved the show. I thought the show was kind of, random. A lot of things didn't make sense to me, and I was kind of worrying that this was just going to kind of lag on. For me, a lot of the matches ended up being a lot of matches that could have been quality matches ended up being, for me anyway, piss break matches. And this one for me really, really saved the show. Awesome all around, great in-ring storytelling, and actually wow, holy shit, guys. I'm getting a text message from Aussie, actually, and he wants everybody to know that he is in good spirits and he's hoping to make a return this week if the doctors end up clearing him. And he says that he also enjoyed the main event, and he says, and I quote, "Now that needs to be the main event of WrestleMania 31. Great all-around match, great storytelling, great mechanics. It had everything. Saved that show." Those are the words from Aussie, who is, like we said, recovering from a concussion given to him at the hands of Nick the Cena fan. And if you didn't see on Twitter, I wanted to point this out. Nick the Cena fan coming in strong with some just letting everybody know that he's here and he's here to stay. So you can check that out, Nick the Cena fan's Twitter account. Check at Rope Break Wrestling. But Aussie is making a recovery. He's looking to make a comeback. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely.
Main event was gold. My closing thoughts.
Awesome. All right, good thoughts there from Matt. Definitely good to hear from Aussie. Glad he's here in good spirits still. Randy, your first reaction on React as a member of the Rope Break team. What do you have to say?
I am in love with the Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose feud, man. It's got everything going, just like Matt said. It was a fucking phenomenal match. They saved the show with it. I think that this could honestly continue to WrestleMania and it would not get stale. This is a really badass little feud they've got going on. I'm enjoying the hell out of it, dude.
Definitely. I have to agree with you there. Great statements from both the Rope Breakers here on the panel. We got some people weighing in on our Facebook about the match. Joey Rodriguez saying he'll be back in time for Night of Champions. Shannon Knight, he gave one hell of a fight tonight. I'd rather see him be written out and going down swinging than any other way. I just hope the movie doesn't take him out of action for too long. And we have Mark Workman saying that was an awesome match. Definitely going to have to agree with all those rope breakers there. And, yeah, so if you guys want to be on the show, for those of you watching, you have to tweet us at Rope Break Wrestling. We will send you the link. And Matt, tell them the deal if they're not talking about Rope Break Wrestling.
Oh my, fine. Are you shitting me? You people, by now, unless you're new, you should know this already. This is the deal. This has always been the deal, and this will always be the deal. If you have friends, first and foremost, that watch wrestling, and you are being selfish and keeping Rope Break to yourself, and you're not sharing it, you know what that makes you? A bad friend. That's it. Terrible friend. Garbage.
Terrible friend.
You should, from my own mouth, you should quit yourself.
Matt, delivering some strong words there about those of you who aren't sharing Rope Break with your friends, getting the word out there. All right, so let's jump into that opening segment. Stephanie McMahon coming out to Daniel Bryan's Fight of the Valkyries, wearing a Steph shirt, jumping in the ring, cutting that great promo, and then, Nikki Bella coming out and, really selling the hell out of what happened last night on SummerSlam. And I know I got a lot of heat for it on our Facebook, especially from Tyson Carneth, you son of a bitch. It's never enough for you. I don't know what it's going to take to satisfy you, man. You are like one of those typical marks who are not satisfied. Unless the Attitude Era comes back, well, guess what? Know your role and shut your mouth. And like your mother always told you, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Anyway, now I will move on from that. But like I said, I received a lot of heat from it on our Facebook saying that Nikki acting is 10 times better than Breeze, and it really was. I know we had one person comment saying, oh, it looked like she was reading off a teleprompter. Another person said she sucks. Another person said they both suck. Whatever. If you compare the two, Nikki sold it better. It came out more naturally for her. And then, the slap at the end, obviously Breeze crying, walking out of the ring, which is pitiful. But other than that, I loved that segment. It was a great way to open the show. Definitely interesting to see Nikki side with the Authority. And I know I pointed out on our Facebook that they need to drop the Brie Daniel cheating storyline, because I don't think that it's not really going to work anymore, because that feud is now done. Stephanie and Brie are really no longer feuding. It's now Nikki and Brie, so really the focus needs to be on them and not Brie and Daniel. But enough of me flapping my gums here. Randy, what did you think about the opening segment of Raw?
Well, the whole thing where Steph came out with the Daniel Bryan theme, I kind of marked that a little bit because I thought Daniel Bryan was coming out finally after so long, but no, everybody got trolled by Steph, of course. That whole segment, I agree with you. It needs to be done, and the feud is over with. They need to focus on Brie and Nikki for their feud with one another. The only thing that I can really truly say about that situation is, like I said last time I was on the show, I'm really getting tired of seeing Stephanie, Brie, Daniel Bryan, that whole thing going on. I'm getting tired of it. They need to just go ahead and push on to the Brie versus Nikki Bella and let that have its feud, and then go on from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. I definitely agree with you. They do need to move on. Matt, your thoughts about that opening segment?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with both of you. I think they need to continue with this Brie and Stephanie feud, mainly just because I want to see Stephanie wrestle in that gear one more time. No, I'm just kidding. Channeling some Aussie over here.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, no, but seriously, I agree with you guys. They definitely, this wasn't, I don't think this was ever meant to be a feud.
Fail.
That's supposed to carry on past that's supposed to carry on past SummerSlam. It's Stephanie McMahon's not a wrestler. Stephanie McMahon is not she's not meant to be a wrestler. So going into SummerSlam, it was they need to get away from this. They need to focus on the storyline at hand. You know, Nikki turning heel, Nikki versus Brie. Neither of them are great actresses, so I agree with you with that. And they're not meant to be. But you're right, Nikki's sold it way better. She was much more believable. Brie needs to work on that. But yeah, I love the intro. I even wrote that on Twitter. I thought it was brilliant. I thought that I thought that her coming out to the Flight of Valkyrie, I marked out too, just like Randy said. I marked out just like he did. I was like, yes, finally he's back. That's sick. I didn't expect it. And then she comes out with the Steph shirt, and I'm like, that's just icing on the cake. Because last night during SummerSlam when she was doing the whole yes chant, it did sound, and they could have been, but I'm not sure. It did sound like they were chanting Steph. So I thought that was, that's the first thing I thought of, and I thought it was brilliant that they made a shirt out of it. Complete A+ on whoever made that decision because it was gold.
I agree with you.
But yeah, but they need to get away from Steph, Brie, and more into Nikki and Brie completely.
Definitely.
Decent, pretty solid opening segment in my opinion.
Definitely, I agree.
There's like one thing I have to say about the crying. There's just one thing I have to say. Every time they make the Divas cry, they fail at it.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful for sure.
They fail at it every time.
Yep.
All right, so while we have a break here in the show as we're moving on to our next topic, we got some rope breakers weighing in on our YouTube. We have Jose Paulino, yo. We have Delta Nage U saying, yo. Jose Paulino weighing in again saying, that's not fair. We have Robert Lucas saying, why is Bray Wyatt the eater of worlds? Like, seriously, the fat dude's got to have a tagline about eating. You know, it's I guess it's a running joke. You know, it's part of his character, really, but make what you want of it. Jose Paulino saying, I sent the tweet, which I'm guessing he wants to hop on the React Show with us, pose his question. So, Jose, we will get that to you shortly. And we have a former member of our rope break team, Kyle Colohan, weighing in here. Nikki did come off more believable than Brie. So got a lot of rope breakers weighing in on our YouTube page. Matt, we got anything on Twitter?
Nothing yet on Twitter. It's been pretty. I mean, we have two things. I should say. I should say we have nothing. We have Wesleyan Coleman, who is the self-proclaimed best rope breaker of all time, the greatest rope breaker of all time. He said he's going to lead the revolution. I don't know. There's been a couple other people who claim to be the greatest rope breaker of all time. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to take his throne. He seems to be coming in strong. He says, can't wait to tune into the podcast after all. You're damn right, Wesleyan. You're damn right you can't wait to tune in. Nobody can wait.
Definitely. And we should
on YouTube.
We should point out that Wesleyan Coleman is one of our winners from our SummerSlam giveaway, as well as Jose Paulino and Delta Naju, otherwise known as Ryan Barilla. So once again, congratulations to you guys for jumping in and winning those prizes. But Matt, what else is going on our Twitter?
Speaking of Ryan Barilla, who was our not a winner for our giveaway, he was our main event winner. If you didn't see what we were giving away and you didn't even message us our secret hashtag Rope Break Revolution on Twitter last night during SummerSlam, what are you doing? We gave away some sick prizes. If I wasn't part of this team, I would have been hashtagging all night. We gave away a Paul Heyman DVD, a signed autograph of Kurt Angle, multiple action figures. Come on, guys. This is ridiculous. Ryan Barilla won the Paul Heyman DVD last night, and he is commenting on Twitter, and he is saying that these guys are reacting to tonight's Raw right now. Come hang out at Rope Break Wrestling. Hashtag Rope Break Revolution. He's still hashtagging Rope Break Revolution because he knows still the revolution ain't over. It's just beginning.
Definitely. All right, great to hear the Rope Breakers weighing in on Twitter over there. All right, we're going to move on with our React. here to the Raw after SummerSlam. Uh, Not a match that I really cared for when it first happened. Big Show and Mark Henry versus Rowan and Harper. Just to kind of keep it short, I didn't really care for it. Definitely got more entertaining as the match goes on. You had four big guys. Didn't really expect much, but they put on one hell of a show. And as I commented on our Facebook, that it looks like Mark Henry and Big Show have been putting in that work in the gym. Both have dropped a lot of weight, and Big Show was noticeably missing his giant knee pads that he's been wearing for the past 10 years. So definitely props to those guys, and they did a good job. Matt, your quick thoughts on that match?
Like you said, I personally wasn't expecting much. When I saw Rowan Harper, I'm like, oh, cool. First and foremost, I just want to reiterate. I've said this multiple times. I'm still not a fan that they have their own theme song, and it seems like they are seriously breaking up. When's the last time that we've seen the Wyatts as a whole really together?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's really detracting from the whole Wyatt family and really taking away from both Rowan and Harper and Bray. Honestly, I liked the match. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought Mark Henry's aggressiveness was great. I really enjoyed what he was doing in the ring, more than usual. Big Show wasn't too bad. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. But whether the match was good or not, I still don't understand it. What does Mark Henry and Big Show have to gain from beating Rowan and Harper? And not only that, then they switch it up, and now Mark Henry and Big Show aren't a tag team, and now Mark Henry's fighting Rusev. So basically, Rowan and Harper lost for absolutely nothing. That was such a waste of time, and it pisses me off because Rowan and Harper, whether you like them or not, they have potential as a tag team. They've proven they've gotten so much better, and they're young. They're up and coming talents. I don't want to see Mark Henry and Big Show as tag team champions. I honestly didn't even want to see them win the match. What I thought should have happened is I thought that neither team should have won. It should have been Mark Henry and Big Show should have won, but it should have been by disqualification due to Bray Wyatt interfering in the match and taking them both out. That would have re-solidified them as a team and proved that they need Bray Wyatt there. And then once again, that would have elevated Brie.
Oh my God, he is going way back.
That was
happens when you
that almost happened.
This is what happens when you are the resident motor mouth since Ferrari brain over there, just trying to get thoughts off as fast as he can and taking up the most time possible.
No, that's not what it is. Listen, I have a lot to say.
You have a lot to say.
Honest,
well, guess what?
I don't give a shit.
20 minutes are up. See you later. Get off the show. No, I'm only kidding. But yeah, I mean.
The reason I said Brie, I can't get her off my mind. Seriously. Anyway, no, I'm gonna say Bray. They're just very close, and they're very close. Syllables are close. The letters are close. Bray. It would have elevated Bray's status in the WWE. After already getting over once with Jericho, he would have got over again. I just thought that they wasted a lot of opportunity in this matchup, and whether it was decent or not, I just thought it was a waste of time, personally.
All right, good words there from Matt. Definitely sucking up the time on the show, but
right,
that's usual here. It wouldn't be a rope break show without Matt going off on a subject.
Exactly.
Hey, it's my show. You shut your mouth. All right. Anyway, Randy, your quick thoughts on that match.
The match. Oh man, I don't even know. I definitely could tell that the Big Show was not wearing the knee braces, of course, and like you said, they actually carried a very solid match, dude. Like seriously, very solid. And I mean, it wasn't really a waste of TV time necessarily, but I can understand where you're coming from whenever you say that it was, could have been not interesting to some people. But I mean, I thought it was pretty solid, But
Definitely.
The whole Big Show and Mark Henry thing, I don't really see that working out. I think that's the reason why they went ahead and went with the Rusev angle, because Mark Henry and the Big Show have had huge rivalries in the past, and they've destroyed a ring together and all kinds of other shit, So I'm kind of glad that they went ahead and took that and spun it off with Rusev, because I don't see Mark Henry and the Big Show doing a whole lot together.
Definitely, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think it was more they were victims of, oh, we don't know what to do with these guys. Let's make a tag match like our six-man tag match we also had tonight. But moving
Exactly.
on, we had that Ambrose Rollins segment with the ice bucket, with the hilarious line from Dean Ambrose saying, "What? It's for charity." Love that. Perfect.
It was the
Definitely
challenge,
was a
man.
challenge. Rollins took it involuntarily, but either way, it was hilarious. I'm sure Aussie got a good laugh out of that. Moving on, we have Paige versus Natalia. Very unexpected match. Was not really into it at all. You know, we had the AJ come out to interrupt the match, which we saw Natalia get that win with that small package. You know, always those cheap wins over the heel. Then you had AJ cut that promo saying, "I dedicate my life to you." And I think it's a great way for them to continue their feud. It definitely sets up a match at Night of Champions to put that Divas title back on the line. AJ always phenomenal. Paige definitely came out and was great as well with her promo. So I'm definitely glad to see they're utilizing those Divas in a pivotal role to elevate that division. Randy, your thoughts on that?
My only question is are they trying to keep Paige as a face, or are they trying to move her to a heel? And the same thing with AJ Lee, because they can both be the exact same thing at the exact same time. I've noticed they can both be a heel and a face at the same damn time, and I don't know what they're trying to do with that. That,
Right,
that
and
I've,
I think that's the stigma that they have now in the company, where you don't know if somebody is a face or a heel because the crowd doesn't know how to react, or they don't want to change over to not liking a certain person. I think they're just victims of that. But like you said, they are good at playing both roles of a heel and a face. Uh,
yes.
Matt, you got anything to add to that?
I try not to take up 20 minutes since I talk so goddamn much. God, never been so insulted in my life. No. I think I think we've talked about this before. I think it has to do with it's difficult because the WWE fans today, especially our generation, it's different. They're not. It's the smart fans don't react like normal fans do. So they'll cheer heels and they'll boo baby faces. So it's really hard to gauge from a day-to-day basis, from town to town, city to city, who's going to be cheered and who's going to be booed. So it's really difficult in this day and age to get a heel over, unless you're Paul fucking Heyman, then you can get anybody over as a heel if you're just a genius. Um, but
Paul
I think
fucking
that,
Heyman.
yup, I am a Paul Heyman guy for those of you who don't know.
I think we
And,
all are here.
Yeah,
you
Paul
know,
Heyman guy. Yes, absolutely.
Aussie is a
go
definite
for it.
Paul Heyman guy if you did not
Yep.
know. But Matt, let's continue your thought there.
I think I just think I don't know if this is what they're trying to do, but they seem almost like tweeners. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Like some of the crowd likes them. I think the majority of the crowd likes both of them at times. You know, and I think they're just interested in seeing good wrestling matches. It's difficult because some, like you said, sometimes they get booed, sometimes they're getting cheered. I feel like as of tonight, they're trying to make Paige the heel, and they're trying to make AJ the babyface. AJ did get a pretty solid pop when she said, "I'm going to kick your ass," and it could
Mhm.
just been because she said ass, and people are like, "Oh, she swore, Attitude Era is coming back," and that's probably why they cheered. But I think they are trying to push AJ as the babyface. It's kind of seemed that way since Paige was the one who originally attacked AJ, and normally from a traditional standpoint, that's usually what starts off the heel when whoever attacks who becomes the heel. And it seems like that's where they're going, but it could easily become both of them are tweeners at some point. But is that short enough for you?
Definitely. Yeah, that was great. Um, you know, we got a couple of fans weighing in over here on YouTube, and while we're doing that, Matt, if there's anybody who wants to join the show, let's get them that link so they can come on and ask their question.
Come along.
We have
Follow us.
Kyle Callahan weighing in again. I like the Big Show Henry versus Wyatt match. I can see it turning into a passing of the torch like feud. Then we have Kyle again. Brie Wyatt! Exclamation point. And Kyle, once again, I love that segment. He got the bucket right to the nose. We loved it too. We have Ryan Barillo weighing in again. We need more and better backstage segments like those. I cannot agree more. I miss those backstage segments. Kyle correcting what he said. And we have Jose Paulino, Alec, and Matt. Did you see my tweet about Nick? Yes, we did. And for those of you watching, this is what Jose issued a challenge to Nick, this senior fan, saying, I want you to go one-on-one with the great one, me. You mess with Aussie, you mess with me. Tag at Rope Break Wrestling. So Nick the Cena fan has been issued a challenge from Jose Paulino. Nick, if you want to respond to Jose, maybe we can set up a grudge match, and you guys can duke it out after that battle with Aussie. And Nick, don't forget, we're coming for you. The Rope Breakers are coming for you. But the next part of Raw, obviously the big part that we all were waiting for, was the unveiling of the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. A lot of mixed reactions about this on our Facebook as well within Rope Break here. I can't say I like the new title. It's definitely better. It looks a lot cleaner with the new logo. I wish the jewels were just done away with. I think they look stupid and tacky, and I mean, it's almost childish in a way. Like, it's still like a part of the company that's still holding on to John Cena instead of moving forward. And I really wish that they kind of went with like a UFC style belt with the big gold plate in the middle with the new logo. It would have looked a lot better, a lot cleaner, and a lot more prestigious. Matt, I know you are a big traditionalist with the titles. Let's get your quick thoughts about that.
Yeah, if you didn't see my posts on Facebook, I weighed in immediately. I don't like it, and I didn't like, and it's not because well, what about the other one? Did you like that one? I didn't like the other one either, and I didn't even like the spinner belt. I went as far as saying I hated it. Now, here's the thing: I didn't hate the spinner belt when it first came out. I didn't like the spinner belt when it first came out, but over time, I grew to hate it since for what was it, like 9, 10 years straight? That's all we got was that stupid spinner belt.
Oh yeah, it was
obviously it was time for a change, and it just became awful, and I learned to hate it because of that. But with that being said, like I said on the Facebook page, I'm a traditionalist. I felt like all these titles are way too flashy, and like you said, they need to do away with the jewels. That's my personal opinion. I don't like all the diamonds, all the flash. I like a title that looks classy. My favorite title right now on the show is the Intercontinental Championship because it looks classy. The white leather, it just looks classy. It looks like an actual title. It looks like something realistic in real life that an actual champion would wear. And I don't see that for the WWE Championship. I personally, my favorite title is the Winged Eagle title, also referred to as Bret Hart's title. That's my personal favorite. A lot of people like the old Undisputed Championship, which I like that one too. That's a nice title. But I just like something that's simple, classy, something that looks like an actual champion would wear. And I just feel like with all the diamond studs and all that stuff, it's just way too much. But that's just my opinion.
Definitely. I have to agree with you there. Before we jump to Randy's thoughts, an interesting thing I wanted to point out that I noticed when watching, the crowd was really split with Brock Lesnar. I mean, their reaction. When he came out and they announced his name, they were cheering, and then they kind of started to boo. But then when when Paul Heyman mentioned Cena, there was definite more boos in the crowd than there were cheers. And then as Paul Heyman went on, the crowd started to split for Brock Lesnar, and I know we talked about that in previous weeks, how the crowd would be split on the thought of Brock Lesnar being champion. So it makes you wonder, is Brock Lesnar the heel, or is Paul Heyman just, the heel out front and Brock Lesnar, in between? I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge with the crowd reaction, but definitely when Paul Heyman is talking on Brock's behalf, there is a definite heel reaction for the most part. So it's really interesting to note. I know we noted that, like I said, within the past few weeks, that is going to be a problem because they want Lesnar to be the heel, but it's hard when he takes the title from John Cena, and everybody's happy about that. But enough of me rambling there. Randy, your thoughts on the new title?
The new title, I honestly think that they could have went a completely different way with it. I mean, the fact that they took the word champion off the title, cause like the spinner belt, it had the word champ on it, but that was of course behind John Cena, and then they took it and they made the with the black background or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the leather, and then they put champion on it. I like that one because it said champion, not because it said champ. It didn't say champ, but I honestly do hate the fact that they did take champion off of this one, and they could have done so much better with it. I mean, I understand that they have like budget cuts and stuff that they have to worry about, but like sticking the network logo on the plate of it and then just having the two sides, it's just boring to me because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really signify that as a title. It's just a belt with some shit on it, you know. And I mean, it's like the three previous wrestling the WWE championships that they have had are terrible. And I mean, I don't understand if it's just budget cuts or what, but I mean, they could have done so much more with this championship, so much more.
Definitely, I have to agree with you there. I think we're all in agreement on that part. More people weighing in over here on YouTube. Ryan Bro, they are both carrying the Divas division. I really hope more of the Divas step up or WWE utilizes them. I'm glad they steered straight away from the Total Divas versus the rest of the Divas storylines. Definitely, we are too. Kyle Cullen weighing in about the title. My personal favorite was the World Heavyweight Championship. Huge legacy behind it, and just looks like a wrestling belt should be. I definitely agree with you there, Kyle. If they could have taken it where they took that big gold plate and then just slapped the new logo on there and then just, really made it shine, it would have been so much more prestigious. But they did not do that. And we're going to jump into The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this match. I mean, it was kind of quick, and they kind of had Dolph sell the knee injury, and then the finish by count out. I mean, it was kind of a cheap victory after a big night for Dolph Ziggler. I don't know. I wasn't too happy with the booking for it. Matt, what did you think about that booking for the match?
I don't know. It was weird to me. Um, yeah, I really don't know what to say about it either. I mean, the match wasn't terrible. I just felt like it. I know they want to continue the storyline. Here's my issue. I just feel like they're overusing the count out or disqualification finish for matches nowadays. Like
Hmm.
that's all we ever see now. Everything, if we don't know how to end a match and we want to save this feud, well, we'll just either count them out or we'll get them disqualified. And it's like that's getting boring because it's predictable. And I know somebody said yesterday, and I completely agree with them. Wrestling is regurgitated nowadays. It's been around for so long. There's not much new that you can really do, so they're going to reuse storylines. But when every single week you get multiple countouts or interferences, it gets boring. And this was no different. I just felt like this match needed closure. I don't think they should have had the rematch this quickly on Raw. I think that kind of took away from it. I think maybe they could have played it off and had maybe the Miz take a hiatus because his moneymaker was injured or some stupid thing like that. He's got to go film another movie, or he's got to go do superstar things that Dolph Ziggler wouldn't understand, or something like that, where they could have written him off TV for a couple of weeks, had him come back, get his rematch, fit it in so that this isn't taking up too much time between this feud with him and Miz to where Barrett could come back, because we all know that's where this is leading.
Definitely,
Leading for Bad News Barrett to make his return
definitely.
and feud with Ziggler at some point. And just having that finish, which just seemed weak. It didn't seem well thought out. It just seemed lazy. Um, I know they're going to work the knee injury into matches coming into the future, but I mean, I just wasn't really impressed. I think they did the rematch way too soon.
Definitely, I have to agree with you there. Like you said, they're kind of working their way to Bad News Barrett's hopeful return to happen soon. Another thing, you had Ric Flair kind of giving Dolph Ziggler words of encouragement, which in the past that Ric Flair has been vocal about wanting to work with Ziggler, so maybe this is kind of the start of that. Randy, your thoughts on that Miz versus Ziggler match?
Well, first things first, of course, I got to root for my boy Ziggler. I use him in my 2K14 universe mode over on my
Definitely.
channel. I got to give him props on winning the belt last night, and the whole thing with the count out tonight, it was yeah, I agree, it was kind of like they threw the match too fast, and they could have done it maybe next week or the week before, or the week after, I'm sorry, and they could have just went all out with it instead of making it as a count out. And the fact that the Miz won, but he didn't get the title, it's definitely gonna, I guess you could say, it could create some things going on between those two for their continuous feud for the next pay-per-view.
Definitely gonna have to agree with you there. Definitely a good point. They could have held off on that and made it worthwhile instead of the let's cash in the rematch for the Miz now and then we'll set up a new feud to kind of make it. I don't know who he's gonna face next because we don't know when Bad News Barrett is going to come back. So hopefully his next appointment isn't some cheap feud to just keep the title in the picture, and really it should be somebody worthy to keep the title relevant and keep it going back on its path towards being prestigious again. Uh, more people, yeah, Ryback. All right, yeah,
Pretty solid pop.
yeah, he did get a great
I
pop
don't,
tonight.
I don't understand. Like, I'm confused by that. I don't know about you guys. I'm like, Ryback rules. Like, feed me more. Like the entire. It wasn't like a group of people. It was the entire
Somehow he's
fucking
popular again.
crowd.
And
Yeah, I'm like,
then
what the
he
hell?
tweeted about it.
Yeah,
He did.
I don't know. Maybe they'll give Ryback a shot again. We got Kyle Cohan weighing in here again. Did you guys notice the microphones and turnbuckle pads had a new WWE logo on it? Yes, Kyle, we saw that. Another thing to point out, Raw had a new layout tonight. Definitely a lot cleaner looking than their previous layout. Definitely looks great. Kyle weighing in again. Why does the Miz wear the same robe as Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z? I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing in Hollywood now. Maybe it's the new fashion trend. I don't know. It just looks like a giant piece of fucking
It
toilet
looked
paper.
like a fucking curtain. He looked like he was
Yeah.
wearing a fucking curtain.
He took his mother's drapes and said, "I'm gonna wear this. This looks great."
I am the Moses of WWE. Why not?
We have Jose Paulino weighing in again. Link dot dot dot. If we can get that link to Jose so he stops squirming in his chair, that would be great.
Calm down,
Yeah.
Jose. I'm getting it to you. Hold
We
your
have
horses, it's coming.
Kyle Cohan weighing in once again, always an active member here on the comments. Feed me more. Definitely great to see Ryback in back up there. Definitely a match that I definitely did not care for. I thought it was a waste of our time, the people at the arena, everybody's time. Swagger versus Cesaro. One thing I want to point out, I don't know when the hell they made the change to Cesaro's theme, but it is fucking awful. It is terrible. I mean, I heard the sirens and I thought it was going on outside until I realized it was on the screen, and it was the most god awful thing I've ever heard. The air raid siren was okay, but now this new I don't know I don't know if it's like a fire drill or a fucking bell going off at a high school. I don't know what it is, but all I know is it's absolutely annoying and it completely ruins Cesaro's character. And like I said, I didn't care for this match. Hashtag what a waste. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah. The only positive, in my personal opinion, even though it made no sense, is Cesaro won. After having that awesome match with Cena, we were saying here on React that, even though he lost to Cena, he didn't necessarily get buried. People were bitching about it. Oh my God, he just got buried. No, he lost to Cena, but Cena did kind of put him over by really, really making the match worthwhile. And then we move on to Friday Night SmackDown after having that awesome match, and he loses to Swagger, and I'm like, damn it. I'm like, all right, it's just one loss, no big deal. Then he loses again to Swagger. I think it was on Raw the following week. I'm like, holy shit, this sucks. What the hell are they doing with Cesaro? And then he loses the pre-show last night to freaking RVD. I'm like, where are they going with this? I'm like, wow, what the hell did Cesaro do? Did he like mouth off to somebody? He sent an email like freaking like Sean Ricker, take the Sean Ricker route.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. And then tonight he comes back and he beats Swagger. And to me, it wasn't a victory. It was like Swagger is down on himself for losing. He's not 100%, so that's why Cesaro beat him. And they're gonna build Swagger back up. I feel like that's where they're headed. I feel like with the finish last night being him not tapping, they're not done with this feud. I think they're gonna build up. Hopefully they build Swagger up more because I think that's what he needed. And it looks like they're gonna. I can't see early prediction. Rusev is gonna beat Mark Henry. You heard it here first.
All right, you heard it here first on React After Raw. Matt calling for Rusev to beat Mark Henry when they have their big match, whenever that may be. Randy, your thoughts on Swagger versus Cesaro? Just real quick, what you thought about it.
I didn't like it. Like you said, I didn't like it. It was a waste of TV time. The whole Ryback match there, that was more interesting than the Jack Swagger and Cesaro thing. The theme song has got to go. I agree with that too. It sounded great until they started throwing all those fucking sirens in there. The sirens throw it completely off. I don't know what they're trying to do with that. Cesaro winning, of course, was all right, but the fact that they did that to his theme song, I didn't understand that. That was stupid as hell. I thought that it made me think of whenever Ryback was coming out with the ambulance before his theme song hit. That's what that made me think of.
I'm definitely gonna be in agreement there. CFO needs to jump on there and just take those sirens out and just let the theme song play without the sirens.
Yep.
I agree. I think I actually like the original siren, the first one that was like the long siren.
That one's fine.
That one was good. I like that one. I know Aussie was very vocal and didn't care for that one himself, but I thought it worked out perfect. It's because it reminded him of Perry Saturn. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Perry Saturn. Nobody gives a damn about Perry Saturn. But I like that. But yeah, this one just sounded ridiculous. I don't get it. It was random, weird. Makes him look like a chump. It doesn't make you think, oh shit, here comes Cesaro to kick your ass. It's more like,
get this theme song off.
Just like, holy shit, I'm about to be arrested. I'm looking out my window.
Yep.
Like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Nope.
We got Kyle weighing in here some more on YouTube about Ryback. I think he got the pop because he was born and raised in Las Vegas. Definitely a good point weighing in about Cesaro's theme. Me and a few buddies of mine were talking about how annoying the siren was. Obviously you could see we definitely agree with you there. Ryan Barillo weighing in. Did you see the Funny or Die Kurt Angle Rob Van Dam Olympic trials that I sent you? Ryan, personally, I did not see it, but I mean, I will definitely have to check it out now that you point out. I'm not as active on Twitter as the other rope breakers are. I'm kind of like an anti-Twitter guy. I don't know why. I can't get used to the damn thing. But speaking of Ryback and moving on, that six-man tag match where we saw Roman Reigns, Sheamus, and RVD take on Randy Orton and Ryback. So another match I just did not care for. I mean, it was like tag match in Mania tonight, really. I mean, all these guys don't have anything to do tonight. Let's throw them in a tag match. No, let's not. Instead of taking Reigns and setting him up for his next feud or setting up another match with Orton, they decided to throw him in a tag match with Sheamus, the most useless U.S. champion in the world. RVD, who, I mean, I can't say anything bad about the guy. Except for the fact that he did not put Cesaro over last night on the pre-show for whatever reason. And definitely Ryback, so kind of the star of that match, getting the big pop from the hometown crowd. Maybe the match was kind of a way to set up future feuds within that group. Maybe, you could see Reigns and Orton going at it again. You could have RVD and Ryback go at it because of their singlets and the designs and using the same person. I mean, that's been pointed out in the past few weeks between those two. And then Curtis Axel and Sheamus. I don't know if WWE is willing to give Axel another shot at the U.S. title, and now Jose Paulino joining React. Jose, we'll get to your question in a minute. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe they will let Axel and Sheamus go at it for the U.S. title, and maybe they'll throw it on Axel. Maybe as a dissension at some point between him and Ryback. But, Randy, your thoughts on that six-man tag match?
Like you said, the Sheamus thing, he's completely useless. He's a useless fucking United States champion. The Ryback chance, the Feed Me More chance, that was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that, but of course, like I said, he actually tweeted about it, and I'm sure he's going to delete it tomorrow, but he actually tweeted about it, and that was pretty cool. They could have done something completely different with that. With them having Roman Reigns, Sheamus in a tag, that was uncalled for. They didn't have to do all that. They could have done something completely different with that segment. Not saying it wasn't a good match, because it was, but they could have given that match to somebody else. They could have given that airtime to somebody else.
Definitely good point there from Randy. Definitely bringing some great words to the panel here. Matt, your quick thoughts on that six-man tag match?
Oh, you had to throw that in my face. You had to be quick. I see how it is. I'm the guy who
Hey, man, look it's midnight here on the East Coast. We are into overtime now, but it wouldn't be real break without going in overtime. But this is what we do, guys. We're here for you to answer your questions, to talk about Raw, get your thoughts about it. This is what we do. We do it for you. So, Matt, let's hear your thoughts on that six-man match.
When I first heard about it, I was like, really? Not even quoting The Miz, really. I was just, like, shocked that these three random guys are going to be... What is RVD going to be feuding against Sheamus? I'm just lost. I don't understand the match. I don't like Sheamus. Honestly... Reigns didn't do a whole hell of a lot. It's not like he was getting a spotlight, so that wasn't the point of the match. I'm just confused. Yeah, he got over on Randy a little bit, but actually, I'm getting word right now that WWE actually hired a special guest head of creative for the night, and I'm getting word that it was Teddy Long. That makes sense with all the tag matches. I get it now. All right, now I'm understanding it. Yeah, no, you're right. There was way too many tag matches. It was definitely like Teddy Long was like, it's now a six-man tag match, player. Oh, my Lord.
Holla, holla.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, pointless match. Made no sense to me. Got really nobody over. Didn't further anything, that was to me a filler. It was just, and it was a bullshit one at that. And RVD won the match and pinned Orton, so that was confusing too. I'm like, that didn't make sense. Like, why is RVD pinning Orton? Why does he keep winning all these goddamn matches?
Maybe it's their way to send him off happy so he can go take another break. Who knows?
Another break. We all know what he's going to be doing on his break.
Yeah, his break.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
break. RVD just, he keeps winning everything. Like, what the hell, dude? I love RVD, don't get me wrong, but he's winning, like, everything now.
Definitely.
All right.
We got Ryan weighing in over here with a question, what is the best way to make Ryback relevant again? I would say put him in bigger matches, break him off from Curtis Axel, maybe give him the IC title. Definitely put him in some big IC title matches with Dolph Ziggler, Bad News Bear when he comes back. Maybe a couple other top mid-card guys like Dean Ambrose. Definitely up against those guys. Roman Reigns. Any stuff to add to that, guys?
Yeah, I do. Get rid of that stupid goddamn singlet he wears. and that I can say truthfully and factually was a Vince McMahon special, because there's plenty of things online that have said, and I believe he even admitted himself, that Vince told him to go out and wear that. Trust me, goddammit, it'll be perfect.
Did you notice the almost Hardy Boy symbol on the back of his gear tonight? Did you see that? It almost looked like a Hardy Boy symbol. Almost.
That's interesting. Yeah, he needs to get rid of that singlet. He needs
Definitely,
to
I
go
agree.
back to his not necessarily the bully gimmicks, but I liked the big guy gimmick when he was on Main Event and when he was wearing that leather jacket and he would get on the headset and he would start making fun of people and I'm the big guy, and he would do that shit. And he acted crazy and he would circle the ring during every match. That was perfect. That whole Twitter rant he kept
It was
going
definitely
on
great. It was gold for sure. I definitely,
kept him relevant.
I
That's the key
definitely,
right there, though. Keep him in the spotlight. Keep him in these top matches, like you said. Keep him on the show more frequently. Make sure you're constantly plugging his name because people want to cheer him because he's got potential, but they're just letting him go and break him up from Axel. As hard as that is for me, say because I like Curtis Axel, but I know people are like, "What?" I do. Well, I'll mention that at some
I
time.
too want them to break him away from Curtis Axel. I want
Definitely.
that so bad, so bad. Ryback Axel is not even a good tag team anymore. Paul Heyman fucked that all up. That's gone.
I definitely agree. And for those of you rope breakers who don't know, I know Matt knows. I was disappointed that they ruined the Curtis Axel character. A lot of potential being Mr. Perfect Son. But Ryan, thank you for sending in that great question. So now, while we're on the questions, let's get to the big guy of the evening, Mr. Jose Paulino. Jose, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and pose your question to the panel here, we are ready for you.
What's up, guys?
How's it
Go on,
going?
Alright, my first question tonight, obviously, the first one, not the second one, the first one.
Not the second one, but the first one. Always Jose with more questions
Multiple
than one.
questions.
Always. Can I ask one more? But go ahead, Jose.
My first question is, can you guys rank the SummerSlam card starting from the best match to the worst match?
Can we rank the SummerSlam card from the best match to the worst match? Um, I don't know, man. I think for me personally, I think the best match is a tie between Brock and Cena and Reigns and Orton. Those were definitely the best matches of the night. Um, I don't know. I can't really say there was a worst match. If I had to choose one, I would say Jack Swagger versus Rusev. I don't think it really did a whole hell of a lot for that feud. It was kind of a cheap victory. Pointless to call it a flag match when the flag wasn't even involved. Supposedly the rule was the victor had to capture the other person's flag or do some bullshit with it. I don't know what it was. So I guess I'll say that. Matt, well, let's go with you.
I'm kind of on the same page with you. Personally, my favorite match was Reigns and Orton. I thought they both put on one hell of a match. I liked it just a little bit more than Brock Cena, but that's not taken away from their match because it was awesome. And I gotta agree with you with the worst match was Rusev and Swagger. I mean, like you said, they're not to reiterate exactly what you were saying, but it did nothing for the feud. It was pointless. I did say yesterday on the SummerSlam post show that I liked the finish. I did actually like that Swagger didn't tap because it's different. We haven't seen that in a while, and it was something that can keep the feud going without it being some kind of disqualification. I thought it was a good way to end that match, even though it wasn't a great match.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to go down the line, especially when you're throwing this right at us, right on the spot, putting us on the spot, Jose. It's hard. I don't even remember. I honestly don't remember all of the matches. So I'll just give you. How about this? How about we go down the line? Alec already did his, and I'll give you my top match and my worst match, and we'll see what Randy has to say. My best match would be Randy versus Roman Reigns, and my worst match would be Rusev versus Swagger, and everything kind of falls in between. I'll even give you this much. I think Brock Cena was my second favorite of the night.
Definitely a good ranking there from Matt. Randy, your best match of the night and worst match of the night.
Worst match of the night, I'd have to give to the Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho. That, in my opinion, was one of the worst matches. It didn't really excite me a whole lot like I thought I was going to. I mean, of course, Chris Jericho being the good guy that he is, he put Bray Wyatt over finally. Mm-hmm. Of course, he got over finally. But I mean, other than that, that match was kind of pointless. It was just so he could get him over. But the best match, in my opinion, has to be when my boy Ziggler won the title. That was the shit, man.
I marked out as
Definitely,
well.
I did
definitely.
too. I did too.
I think it's a clean sweep with that there, Jose. I think every one of us rope breakers marked
We
out.
were
Ziggler
huge.
winning.
Definitely big mark out moment there for the Road Breakers when we saw Dolph Ziggler gain the Intercontinental title. Jose, great question. Always posing the hard questions here on React After Raw. So, Jose, do you have anything left, or should we sign off from you?
Yes, I have something left.
Oh,
And
he's
after
always got
like,
something left.
Yes.
and after this question, I'm gonna go check if Watson has another question. Watson has a question.
Oh my
So,
lord.
This guy
is
wants
it
that
just
road break time.
is
All
it
right,
just
Jose,
me?
pose your question.
Is it just me, or does anybody else think that Sheamus should get cut, or just less TV time? Because he isn't doing nothing good with the title. They just gave it to him, and wasn't he supposed to turn heel? I don't get it.
Yeah, he
Um,
was actually supposed to turn
Yeah,
heel. I'll just
he was supposed
talk
to
on that
turn
real
heel.
quick.
But I mean, I think it's kind of unanimous across the rope break panel here that we really don't like Sheamus, and we really just don't care for the guy. I mean, he doesn't really do anything for us. He's always useless when he holds a title, and he's notorious for getting his ass whipped backstage by multiple people. So he's not the most likable guy. So I mean, I don't like Sheamus.
Sheamus had a good title run whenever he was the world heavyweight champion. Whenever he won it at WrestleMania, that was it. That was the icing on the cake for him. Him having the United States Championship is completely a waste of time. Dean Ambrose could still be holding that title, and it would be the same thing that we're getting with Sheamus.
Mm-hmm. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, it's unanimous across the board. Sheamus needs to go away. He was supposed to turn heel. They set up the idea that for some reason, in their minds, the creative team thought, well, Dean Ambrose is really over. Sheamus is really over. So if he beats him in a battle royal, where historically babyfaces have eliminated other babyfaces and not gotten any heat for it, then he's going to automatically turn heel. I don't know where in their minds they thought that was going to work. I mean, how many times did somebody eliminate Stone Cold? How many times did The Rock get eliminated? The top guys got eliminated from Royal Rumbles, Battle Royals, things of that nature, and not gotten any heat for it. It's a battle royal. That's expected. I don't know why they thought he was going to turn heel there, but that was, I guess, the plan. Didn't work. It backfired because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Sheamus sucks. I'm going to end my statement by saying, yes, I agree. He needs to get the hell out. Go to TNA so I don't have to watch you anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're all in agreement there. But great questions from Jose. Always chiming in, always having one more. We have Ryan weighing in. Sheamus will turn heel when Cena turns heel. Yeah, we know that's
Cena will never turn heel, so we're never getting another Sheamus heel turn.
Yeah, pretty much. But Jose, thank you for coming on the show. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here. You always ask great questions.
So you want me to go get Watson if he has a question?
Unfortunately, Jose, we gotta sign you off, man, because we are well into overtime here, and we gotta finish up React. And even though we'd love to have his question, but we have a show to finish up. But thank you for joining the show. It's always a pleasure having you, and we will catch you soon.
We'll be back. We'll be back next week. So let Westland know. Stop taking naps. He needs to get in gear.
Bring your ass, man. Come on.
I know the leader of the Rope Break Revolution. Too busy sleeping on the job. Tell him be ready tomorrow. Be ready next Monday after Raw for Rope Break. For React after Raw, and have his question ready, and we'll send the link. Let us know if he wants to be on. We'll send the link, and we'll get to it.
All right, thank you, Jose.
All right, Jose, one more question. Paulino, good to see you.
Always good to see you. All right, we just got a couple more things here that happened on Raw. Kind of the less interesting things, but maybe one more interesting thing. We had that Bray Wyatt promo, which I mean I wasn't too fond of when I first heard it, but the more I thought about it, it was definitely a decent promo. I mean I know I told Matt that I'm used to him getting more into it, really making his promos believable, but I mean it was a decent promo uh, for the most part. You got anything to add to that, Randy?
Bray Wyatt always cuts damn good promos, in my opinion. I love it every time that man gets on the mic, regardless whether it's backstage or it's in the ring. Bray Wyatt can cut a damn good promo anytime he's on the mic, and I enjoy the hell out of it every time he is on the mic. Every time. He never bores me. I'm really, really excited to see what else they're going to do with his character. Bray Wyatt is a fucking promo god, man. I love it. I love it.
Definitely, it's obvious that that Jericho Wyatt feud is definitely going to continue into SummerSlam, and we'll probably see Wyatt go over once again. Hopefully, it's a better match than what they had at SummerSlam. Matt, you got anything to add to Wyatt's promo?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to ask because I was very unclear about this. Randy, do you love Bray Wyatt's promos?
Yes.
Okay, I was
Yes.
a little,
Yes.
I was,
You heard it here on React. Randy loves Bray Wyatt's promos. Don't ever forget it.
Never, never. You are not allowed to forget it.
So,
in
yeah,
the words,
Matt, if you want
in the
to
words
give
of
your
CM
thoughts.
Punk, never, ever, ever.
Never, ever,
Um,
ever.
CM Punk, what the hell's that? Yeah, I'll give my 2 cents. I liked it. I thought it was good. It reminded me kind of, if you're not familiar with this promo, his very first Bray Wyatt promo. It kind of had that feel to it. It was a little bit different. If you haven't seen that, it's actually pretty cool. Go check it out. Bray Wyatt's first promo on NXT. I think it's if you YouTube Bray Wyatt debut on YouTube, you can find it. It's a pretty solid promo. But like Randy said, I'm a mark for Bray Wyatt. He's easily one of my favorite characters, not just of this generation, but of all time. And I love his promos. Just as Randy said, I'm 100% on board with Randy. Um, he captures your attention every time. This time was no different. I see where Alec is coming from, though. I don't want to take away from that. It wasn't as it was a little bit different than what he normally does. It wasn't. It was almost in the same cadence at all times. He had the same tone in his voice. You know, he didn't like oscillate his voice like he normally does, where he'll talk in a louder volume, he'll in a higher pitch, and then he'll drop it down to a whisper. He didn't do much of that in this promo. It was more straightforward than normal, so I can get where Alex didn't care for it as much. But I personally still loved it because I'm a mark for Bray Wyatt. But I have to say, I don't think that Jericho is going to necessarily. I posted this on Twitter, and I stand by what I said, or maybe it was Facebook. One of our social medias. I posted it somewhere within Rope Break. You can go find it if you want. Chris Jericho is going to turn heel. That is my prediction right now. By the promo he cut tonight, by the way that he baited in the fans, that was really reminiscent when he came back a couple years back when he came back, and when he would come out, wouldn't say a single word to the fans. He would hype them up and then just walk out. That was kind of what I got a feeling of this time. You know, he kind of he hyped up the fans to chant Y2J, and then he kind of got him excited for that ever, and then the crowd went with him, and he didn't do it. He just said ever again, and he kind of smirked us into the camera like, gotcha. And then when he left, he gave a look like, you know, and the way he worded, the crowd will always have my back, is the perfect setup now for him to turn heel, because he can say the crowd didn't have my back. So it might culminate up into Bray Wyatt beating him again. Chris Jericho turns heel, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I am predicting that by the end of the next pay-per-view, Chris Jericho will be heel, probably on the following Raw. You heard it here first, out of my mouth.
You have heard it here first on React after Raw. Matt making a bold prediction that Chris Jericho will turn heel sometime by the next pay-per-view. He is scheduled to leave after Night of Champions, so hopefully we'll see that heel turn before that. Next quick match on the card, we had Usos versus Goldust and Stardust. I know I've been vocal in the past. I don't really care for the Stardust character. You know, I'm more of a Cody Rhodes guy. I've always thought Cody Rhodes has the pedigree to be a world champion, and I feel like he already should have been there. But he is doing the best job he can as Stardust. But you know, I don't know if you guys agree with me or disagree with me here on this, but could they really be setting up Goldust and Stardust for a tag title shot?
I feel like they are. And that worries me because like I don't like I'm been vocal about this. I don't like Stardust at all. The character to me it's hard to get into it because with Goldust it works because we've never really seen Dustin Rhodes as a character, so we've never seen behind the paint too much. I mean, he made a couple appearances, but I mean it's nothing where we've seen him in the ring.
Right, unless you watched WCW when he first debuted. Then you don't really know Dustin Rhodes behind the paint of Goldust.
Exactly, but in Goldust was huge in WWF, WWE. He wasn't huge in WCW. I mean, he was bigger in WWE, WWF, got way more recognition, and nobody saw him within this company as Dustin Rhodes. Like you said, he had his debut in WCW where he was for a little bit. But with Cody, it's completely different. We've gotten to know Cody from his debut, from joining Legacy, even before that, teaming up with Hardcore Holly. And we've gotten to know Cody Rhodes, the person, the character, the gimmick. And then to have him wear face paint, it's hard to look past that. It's not, Goldust is a character, and I can't see past Goldust. Stardust, all I see is Cody Rhodes with makeup. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with you there.
It's really difficult for me to get into the character. Now people are upset. Oh, Stardust isn't in the game. I'm fucking glad he's not in the game. Thank God.
He will be DLC. Watch. He'll be DLC.
He will be DLC definitely within a few months of the release. So those of you who want the Stardust character so bad, you can wait for the DLC, or if you want to, once somebody makes it and throws it up on Community Creations, you can download the son of a bitch. If you haven't already done it in 2K14, which I'm pretty sure it's already there.
I've got it.
I've got it in a while, but Randy has Stardust. So if you have 2K14, hop on Community Creations and you can get your very own Stardust and play as that bizarre character with, Randy, do you have anything to add to the potential of Goldust and Stardust getting a title shot?
Well, it's like Matt said. I've watched Goldust, and I haven't really ever seen the side of Dustin. So Goldust is, who Goldust is. He's Goldust. There's no question about that. And the Stardust character, I liked it whenever he first debuted. But I mean, seeing the behind the backstage scenes with them and them trying to build up this weird fucking thing with Cody Rhodes, it's just like he said, I see Cody Rhodes with face paint on, and breaking news, by the way, Cody Rhodes is facing Stardust at WrestleMania 31. It's happening. It's going to happen.
Well, I guess you heard it here on React After Raw first. Cody Rhodes will be facing his alter ego Stardust at WrestleMania 31. Definitely going to be an interesting match for sure. I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe he'll just yell at himself in the ring or something like that and jump off.
There's one thing that I hate about the Stardust character, and it's the fact that he hisses. That shit, I'm like, what's the point of that? Why does he have to hiss like a goddamn snake? I don't understand that, man.
He's hissing like a shooting star.
Yeah. It's just.
I don't even know. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. He hisses, and it's terrible.
I know this Stardust creation is kind of from Cody's own mind. I know Aussie pointed out to us a couple weeks ago that when he was interviewed when he was younger, he wanted to be the Stardust Kid or something like along those lines. I can't quite remember, but it is a creation of his own, so maybe he just wanted to go and do it. And, maybe this title shot will, lead to them holding the title for a while. And then when they lose them, we can see the dissension between Goldust and Stardust and have Cody come back and say, I didn't need you. I did this to prove that, I'm better than you, whatever he decides to do. Enough of that. We can move on and get ready to close the show here. But last thing on our list is the Rusev Lana promo segment. Didn't really care for that. And then you had Henry come out and kind of say he was going to give him a tour of America or whatever the hell he said. I didn't really care for that either. I think it'll be a good feud because you have Mark Henry, who's an Olympic lifter, competed for on America's behalf in different weightlifting competitions. So that's always a good thing. Henry is good in the ring. He will put Rusev over if needed and should be needed. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to watch, and not a big feud that people are going to be excited about, but, I mean, it's something for Rusev to do for now. You guys got anything to add to that?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting match. Definitely interesting matchup. I didn't expect Mark Henry. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it was confusing for me because, we have him in the tag team with Big Show in the beginning, and you're thinking, oh man, Big Show and Mark Henry are tag team again. Okay, this is going to be weird. And then he comes out, now he's facing Rusev. I'm like, okay, now I'm really confused. Which one is it? I'm still confused because I'm assuming because it was later in the show he's going to be facing Rusev. But like I said, I don't see Mark Henry winning. I made the prediction. Mark Henry is not going to beat Rusev. I think this is just another way to get Rusev over a little bit more. Not that he needs it. Build up Rusev more. Build up Swagger. Swagger is kind of, I think they're using the tactic of beat Swagger down to build him up. That's what I see happening. That's why he lost to Cesaro. And I don't see Swagger winning again until he faces Rusev. So the next time, this is another prediction. This ain't even a prediction show. Look what you're getting. Look at what you're getting from me. Predictions on a Raw React. This is quality stuff. You're not going to get this in the bleachers or cage side. You're only going to get this in the ring with rope break. Another prediction. The next time that they face off, the next time that Rusev faces off with Jack Swagger, Swagger will finally win. I think he will lose all of his matches leading up to that. I don't see him winning again. He'll probably win it in watch on main event or some shit like that. I'm gonna look like an idiot. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's gonna lose every match leading up to Rusev because I think they're trying to beat him down, get people on his side. Zeb Coulter's not there. He's kind of by himself. Zeb Coulter will re-debut before he fights Rusev again, and then Swagger will finally get over on Rusev. And Rusev beating Mark Henry is going to be huge, and that'll be a huge push for Swagger. It's just a question of where the hell does Swagger go after he beats Rusev. Is he going to be relevant? Can they continue to make him relevant without Rusev? I think that's my prediction.
That's an interesting point. Maybe they could throw him in the U.S. title scene somehow. I don't know. Maybe he will get a title shot. Hopefully U.S. IC, something to keep him relevant if they choose to. Randy, do you have anything to add to what Matt said?
Well, see, the whole SummerSlam match between the two, the reason why they that Swagger lost is because, well, he didn't technically lose, he just passed out. So, I don't know where they're trying to go with it now because it's just I feel like it's the feud's already over with because I mean they've been, I think this has been going on for about what, maybe a month now at most, I want to say. And from what I understand, that they're supposed to have Rusev versus Sheamus later on down the line for the United States Championship, and Rusev is supposed to take it. But whenever Swagger and him finally have their final match, I hope Swagger does win because it would look really good for him. And I mean, it would be Rusev's first official one-on-one loss too. So I mean, Lana could go fucking nuts over that. But I mean, I honestly, I'm ready for them to go ahead and be done with this. Let it go ahead and continue to the next pay-per-view and then be done with it because it's getting I'm just ready to see it over. I'm not saying that it's boring or old or anything. It's just I'm ready to see it done. It's time for Rusev to either become a jobber like every other person that's walked in there that has badass pushes at the beginning, cuts excellent or almost excellent promos, and then they kind of just fall off the charts. It's what happened to Ryback. It's what happened to the Great Khali. I can see them doing that with Rusev once Rusev has had his part taken care of in the WWE. I can see them making him a jobber eventually.
Some strong words from the new rope breaker, Randy Hill.
I agree. Just to interject, I think that I was just going to mention that I think that after beating Mark Henry, he will go on to Sheamus, and I think it'd be a perfect way. I love the way that they're building up Rusev right now. I love the heat he's getting. It's authentic. In my opinion, he's the only heel on the roster right now getting authentic heat from the crowd. And I think they're working it perfectly. And him winning that U.S. championship, a Bulgarian residing in Mother Russia, wearing the United States championship after beating Sheamus would just be the icing on the cake. And then to have Swagger, who keeps getting beat down week after week after week, coming into a pay-per-view, finally getting over on Rusev, and beating him and taking that strap would be a massive push for him and would be awesome. I understand where you're coming from, being over with this feud. Just not that it's boring. It's just kind of, it's one of the things that there's not much else. It's kind of like, I think, like a tag team titles, like the Usos having titles. It's not that they're doing a bad job with the titles. It's just like, I've seen them too much. I'm kind of already getting overloaded. It's time to kind of do something fresh.
Right, right. I think that's kind of the reason why they're taking the whole the Dust Brothers thing with that. I think that they're fixing to hand the titles down to them. I wish they would get rid of the copper penny belts that they have for the tag team championship.
I agree there.
But yeah, I really do wish they would get rid of them. But I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do, and quite possibly the Rhodes Brothers will win the tag team championships. I'm not too sure on that, but maybe after Rusev and Jack Swagger get done with their rivalry, maybe they'll give Jack Swagger or Sheamus or whoever, maybe they'll throw Sheamus in there and make it a triple threat for the United States Championship. I don't know, but I figured that like after that happens, maybe they're going to either write Jack Swagger off TV or they're going to write Sheamus off because they don't really have a place that they can put them right now.
Fingers crossed for Sheamus. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
Write that definitely off TV.
Some strong words, some strong predictions here from our panel on React After Raw. And that's it, guys. We have covered the entire card. We went well into overtime once again, but hey, we do it for you. We thank you guys for sticking with us throughout the night. It is 12:31 a.m. here on the East Coast. You know, we are, like I said, we are well into overtime, but it's time to get the final closing thoughts from our panel here. Matt, let's start with you. Any final closing thoughts for the Rope Breakers watching around the world?
Oh, man. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our giveaway. And if you weren't part of the giveaway that we have every single pay-per-view, I can't stress that enough, guys. Every pay-per-view we do awesome giveaways. Last night we gave away the Paul Heyman DVD. We gave it away for free. And we thank you for tuning in every week, for being loyal, for being part of this revolution. The Rope Break revolution is coming. It's not over with. It's just begun. It is here right now. And on behalf of Aussie, like I said at the beginning of the show, he's in good spirits, hoping to be back soon. And I've gotten word that we may possibly be seeing something from him in the future. Something new, something exciting. And I would also like to say
this week. We don't know. He's trying to get back on his feet.
Something new and exciting from him, and I also have to say, keep an eye out for sometime this week, a side project that I'm personally working on. Keep an eye out for that as well. Something interesting. Rope Break is going into overdrive. We have so much coming for you guys. The revolution is here. Keep it locked. And as always, I am Matt Donato, and I will pass it over to Randy for his final thoughts.
Randy, the newest member of the Rope Break team, closing out his first React after Raw. Randy, your final closing thoughts, anything about Raw, being on the show as a member of the Rope Break team, anything you have to say, the floor is yours, my friend.
First and foremost, I want to say I really, really, really appreciate you guys having me on the show, and hopefully I will become an official member of the Rope Break family. I'm the 1 in 21, and hopefully I am here to stay. Rope Break for life. Raw was actually pretty. It was a pretty decent show in my opinion. There's a lot of stuff that they could have done other than what they did tonight, um, but yeah, always, you guys are awesome. I enjoy the shit out of getting on here and doing the live shows with you, and I will hopefully be back next week.
There you go. You heard it first from Randy Hill, the newest member of our Rope Break team on React after Raw. And that's it, guys. We are closing another show. And we went into overtime for you. Lots of great questions from all the Rope Breakers tweeting in and commenting on YouTube. We always love the interaction. And, you know, those of you on Facebook, man, when we shout out and say, hey, give us your questions, and you're reacting with us throughout Raw on our Facebook tonight, man, just throw us a question. Even if you're not watching the show, man, give us a question. Come on. You're talking to us throughout the night, replying to what I'm saying on the Facebook, what Matt's saying on the Twitter. Hell, man, if you're up, tune in to React after Raw. You could be on the show. But enough of me calling out the Rope Breakers around the world. Definitely thank you guys for tuning in once again. It was a great Raw. Definitely one of the better ones this year, especially after some of the worst ones we've had the past couple weeks. Not worst ones, but could have been better. That's usually my running gag here at Rope Break. But I think that is all I have to say. We'll be back here again next Monday, immediately following Raw here on our YouTube page live. As always, Aussie could be back soon with something new for you guys, something new and exciting. The Rope Break Revolution has begun. Our new logo has debuted. Brock Lesnar is champion. We are excited, and the revolution is starting. It is strong, and like Matt said, he has something in the works. There's plenty in the works here at Rope Break. We are in overdrive, always trying to deliver you the best content possible. Rope Break is for the fans, by the fans, and we will always be here for you. And now it is time to sign off. So for everyone here at Rope Break, that's Randy, that is Matt. Our best wishes to Aussie and get well. I am Alec, and if you are not down with Rope Break, we got 2 words for you. And Randy, we will introduce you to this ritual. If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Rope Break.
Rope Break.
All right, guys, thank you for coming on the show. We will see you next week following Raw. Good night, guys.
Take care.